Sirpa Pietikäinen from Finland with your views. Sirpa.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to congratulate you for the work that you have done with this Change Perspectives paper, because I think that this is one of the most comprehensive and best papers that I have seen about framing the budget, and now it just would be on us to put it on practice. And there, secondly, I fully share the frustration of my colleague Gerbrandi about what we are doing, or actually are not doing here in the Parliament when it comes to the budget. And we are losing, and quite rightly we are losing our political power, and I think that it is sort of a sad story when we go back to our voters and explain why we are acting as we are. Well, while you have quite a lot of good issues here, I'm not going to repeat them, but I'm wanting to raise 4 issues. Firstly, I think that we should make the environmental impact and externalities visible, because it would help us then to fight against harmful subsidies and wrongdoings in the budget. What I mean by that is that there's ongoing work on the Commission concerning the resource efficiency, the indicators. But then if you have the indicators as a separate unit somewhere, okay, Europe is using this much of raw materials and so on, it actually doesn't link it to our budget use. So we should have in each and every column of the budget, at least on the main columns, the impact. And it is rather easy. It is the impact on environment, biodiversity and pollution, pollutants. It is a biotic and abiotic impact. So how much the resources, like fisheries, food, different raw materials are used, water and land use. And to those who say it is not doable, I would say that all the numbers and the budgets are also only figures and estimates. So we can already have start with the data and the models that are existing. This is just to put it into place so that we can show that actually putting the money on those gold mines or this kind of a crazy infrastructure investments, actually you are losing this much. And then again, if you put it on supergrid or in green infrastructures, actually you are lessening the impact and you are gaining. So I don't know how to make that happen, but this is something I would put a lot of effort on campaign. Then put a compulsory element on auditing the budget afterwards. So where the impact analysis, right? And so to make the Commission liable afterwards, like it is wrong use of the financial resources, wrong use on the environmental and resource impact, on the actions. Okay, then I do agree what has been discussed here about the subsidies. It's a big part, and the role of a cohesion policy, so I'm not going to go more in detail on here. But about the taxes, one issue would be that of course we would need to adjust our whole taxation system, whether it is environmentally encouraging or not, and change it. But we could use a lot of this kind of a gradual incentive systems on the tax reduction. For example, when we need to improve energy efficiency in our buildings, why not to say that, okay, if you improve it by this number, you get, this is compulsory. If you improve it even more so that it's a positive, neutral or positive, energy positive house, you get this much of a improvement. If you install renewable energy units, then you get this much of a more reduction, so that we can actually support the individual people on moving on this direction. And for that, what we would need, one and most biggest priorities and the issues that we haven't actually dealt properly is that now when we have a new economic governance package, and we are going to have the European semester, so we are going to look at the national budgets, whether they are online, on this on the debt targets, so the growth package. We should check at the same time whether the budgets are aligned with the EU 2020 targets, that is greening the growth. And check what are the impact, what are the indicators on national budget on resource use. And I know that this is going to be an uphill battle with member states, but I think that because here we actually have a big lump of money, more than tenfold of the EU budget, it should be guided, and because it's already guided at least in theory in austerity, not debting, and on EU 2020, so the environment should be at least as important. Yes, I find that the own resources is extremely important, and I'm really hoping that we could work up pretty quickly some project bonds, and just to again raise the issue like what we would need a smart supergrid to really use the renewable energy all over the Europe and common energy market. How on earth are we going to finance at least 80 billion investment needed with this time of economic scarcity with our member states? We are not going to do it without the project bonds and European funding. And there's a lot of this kind of structural, infrastructural, in pan-European investments like for the railroads that we just would have to prioritize and get the money. Okay, then my last. I'm not going to comment on life. Just encourage myself, you as well, to come to this Commission Globe EU live conference what Jan Gerbrand is chairing, and I have a bit of rumors, doubts that it might be not that easy to increase the live funding either. So please do support and help that if possible. Last but not least, my only reference to the cap policy is that you just can't change it. It's almost impossible. And what we would need in the longer run is a change. We don't have a huge construction sector policy or retail sector policy or any that matter policy. 4% of the people working or European populations are agricultural works. And I'm very strongly in support of sustainable subsidies in some cases and for the livelihood of the farmers because the food needs to come near. But as long as we look at only in this kind of interest perspective, we can't make a rational food politics and to see how we are using really the land and what are the demands for that. So this is that kind of a contextual change that I really wish we could be doing something. Personally, I'm trying to push something initiatives forward. So if you would be interested in this food politics, please do contact us and the Globe EU in this matter. I think that these are the couple of points for food for thought. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sirpa. I think we have a little bit more